Hello and welcome to another episode of Sippin Coffee with Jeff. I'm Jeff. This is the podcast where we talk about life, living, automation, AI, a lot of geek stuff, things that I'm into and I hope you're into too. So I like to start it out talking about life, a little bit about what I got going on. This is a little bit later in the day. I tried to record one early in the morning and things just weren't set up to where I wanted them to be. So I spent pretty much the afternoon setting up the exercise that I'm going to go over with you in a few minutes. And then we'll be able to go through that and actually function the way I want it to. But I'd like to start off just kind of talking about what I did yesterday and my journey, my health journey. It was upper body day with my son at the gym, and we changed it up. We started to go for failure, which, if you don't know, if you haven't worked out, that is pushing your muscles to the absolute limit and then a little bit further than that. So if you were doing a bicep curl, you're curling the weights. We work with dumbbells. You would curl until you can't lift it anymore. And then you would use your hand to kind of give you an assist up and let that drop. I do 5 pass failure. I'll do that again. And I could really feel my muscles responding to that. Before we were just doing 3 sets of 10 of, whatever it was, whatever exercise we were working on. And I've been watching a lot of TikToks, as you do. And a lot of them are saying, that if you really want to see results, you need to go to failure. And so we implemented that. It was a really good day, but it kind of got me thinking about life and how that really could apply in any number of ways to how we are living our life. So, especially with what we've got going on today, where, the cost of eggs is like $450,000, right? You're making life decisions in the dairy aisle. And we're giving it what we have, right? But there's a little bit more in the tank. And for those of us that have been struggling for a long time, you know what I'm talking about. It's that resilience. When you think that you're at the very end of your rope, when there's nothing left, when you just can't take any more, there's a few more inches you could take. You definitely can push through it. It reminds me of a movie that we used to watch at Quicken when I worked there. It goes along with one of their isms. There's a football player, a young kid that is on the field, and his coach has him going through it. Man, he's pushing him to the max that he could push him, and the kid's like, "Coach, I can't do it. There's no way I can't make it." And I forget what he was doing. It was like a bear crawl or with him on his back. I forget what it was. It's a movie. And he would only make it like 5-10 yards, collapsed, was completely exhausted. And the coach says, "No, get up. You can do this. You can make it." And I think he blindfolded him and got next to him down on the ground. He's like, "Come on, you could do it. You could do it." And the kid's pushing. And he just, dug in, and the coach is like, "You only got 1 more yard. You could make it. You could, whatever." And the kid pushes through and he breaks down, collapses at the end, takes this thing off. And he's like 25 yards past where he thought he could make it. And that's just the resilience that we all have inside of us. We really do have the ability to push through some exceptional circumstances. And I think that's something we all need to remember about where we're at right now in the world. There's a lot of really crazy things going on. There's a lot of sad things happening in the world. Most of them are completely out of our control. They may or may not impact our immediate lives, our loved ones' lives. But end of the day, you have your sphere of influence over your family and over what you do daily and how you react is the most important thing. How you react to the environment around you. And just take that lesson of going to failure, right? Like, even when I think I can't do another curl, my body physically will not let me. I got this hand right here. I'll come up and I'll just give it a little bit of lift, a little bit of help. And I can get it to the top and then I let it go back down. Guess what? I got like 5 more of those bad boys in me. Let's go. I can keep it going all day. And so, yeah, there's a little nugget of knowledge for you to bring with you into tomorrow. So I talked a little bit about AI yesterday and what I got going on, and I wanted to walk you through something I think everybody could use. This is a good example of how to use this tool, and how it could be expanded into other things. And one of the things that I do for my family every month, and it's really helped me. I've saved over $1,000 a month doing it this way and creating shopping lists from this. It's a meal plan. It's a monthly meal plan, and sounds silly, but it really does. It works. And so I create this monthly meal plan, and from that, I build out a shopping list. And I go once a month and I buy all of my meat in one go. I calculate how much meat I think I'm going to need for the month, and I go off to Sam's Club, Aldi, those type of places, and I'll buy all the meat in one go because that's really the most expensive part of your shopping. And I've gotten that down. If you add in more lean ground beef into your meal, less steaks, you're dropping down from that $18 a pound down to the $5.99 a pound or whatever it comes out to. You could really get that down. And then you just focus on your sides every week. What kind of veggies do you need to buy so that they're fresh? What kind of rice or pantry type things are you going to need? Are you going to need certain oils? Are you doing some stir fry? You're going to want some sesame oil, things like that. So let me kick over to my automation. I took some time this morning because I was going to build it live and it just wasn't working out the way I wanted to. And this does involve a couple more advanced things. I will make this blueprint, and I'll go through what that means, but I'll make this blueprint available on my website once I tidy it up a little bit. So anyone that's interested could download this and implement it, maybe get into your own little automation journey. So I'm going to head over here to thisismake.com. So this is the platform I was talking about where you can connect different APIs in order to accomplish a task. Basically what I'm doing is I've created, this is with Google Sheets. I just made a simple Google Sheet that I laid out a sheet for criteria. And in this criteria, I say, what kind of diet do I want to follow? Do I want kid-friendly options? Yes or no? And if I do want kid options, what do my kids eat? Like, what kind of foods do they actually eat instead of guessing? I don't want AI just to guess about what my kids eat. And so let me zoom in just a little bit here so you can see. So we got popcorn chicken, hot dogs, pizza, grilled cheese, grilled chicken and rice. My kids really love chicken and rice. Spaghetti, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, mac and cheese. This was just a short little snapshot. I mean, that is a really good rounded. Sometimes they will eat what I eat, sometimes not. And then in the diet, I just went out and I said types of diets, right? And then I threw a couple like home cooking, soul food. Those aren't necessarily diets, but maybe like type of food they eat. Maybe it's Korean. Maybe it's whatever. What are you following? What is your normal day to day? What kind of meal plan do you want? I don't even know. This mind diet's like good for the mind, I guess. My plate, it's smaller plates, things like that. In fact, maybe let's try that and see what it comes out to. I'm curious about this My Plate. I think they're just smaller plates. All right, so once you do that, come over here to this shopping list, or shopping list is actually going to be the next piece we're going to work on. And we're going to delete this too because I don't want you to see it. Actually, we'll go through it. Why not? Okay, so this was one I generated from Soul Food, right? You can see it generates, so day one, here's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Southern grits with shrimp and a side of sliced tomatoes. Sounds delicious. Fried catfish with coleslaw and a side of cornbread. And then for dinner, barbecue ribs, baked beans, side of collard greens. Man, that is a day. That's like 10,000 calories right there. For the kids, it kicked up popcorn chicken for breakfast. I gotta fine tune my prompt. Popcorn. I think it's just because I didn't have any in the list. But popcorn chicken with an apple, hot dogs, hot dog buns, and carrot. Oh, these are the ingredients. Here we go. Popcorn chicken, side of apple slices, hot dogs, side of carrot sticks, grilled cheese sandwich, side of tomato soup. Now, this was really with no fine tuning. I just kind of threw it in there, and I'm going to walk you through that now. So if you take a look at the sheet, this produces that. It's pretty cool how it does it. So first thing I do, we're going to actually delete this one because this is an advanced module that I was looking at, and we're going to switch this to on demand for right now. Okay. So basically what I do is I go, hey, give me that sheet. And now I've already done my Google connections. Each one of these things, I'm just going to preface it now. You're going to want to make your own connections to each one of your areas. Okay. So I say, hey, give me the spreadsheet meal plan. I want to look at the sheet name criteria, and that's it. Just give me everything you got on it. Okay, so it will return that sheet. And then I say, okay, when it runs, increment a number. Just give me a number. Number 1, number 2, number 3, whatever. Then we're going to go into our OpenAI. So I created this prompt. I say, let it load up. I'm using the GPT-4o Mini for this. So there is a bunch of different models that you can use. Some are more expensive, like the O3s and the O1s. Those are more geared towards research and deep research. There's GPT 4.5. That's kind of cool. Maybe we can try that one out. Let's throw that on there and take a look. That's the newest and greatest. And then there's the 4.0, GPT-4, GPT-4o, 4o Mini. 4o Mini is just a really cost-effective. If I'm doing this on scale, it's just a really cost-effective. What do you call it? I'm going to throw my camera on here so you guys can see me too. Where's that? It's just a really cost-effective model. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, so it's just a really cost-effective model. It allows you to run at scale because I'll tell you, it can get really expensive really quick if you're doing this at scale. I was getting like $200 a month bills, and I'm like, oh my God. I made a couple changes to the model that I was using, and it dropped down to pennies. So you're talking like 1 million tokens in for 4.0 is pennies, where 1 million tokens in for 4 turbo, whatever, is going to be a couple $100. So I put here. So the way the prompting works, you have a system prompt, user prompts, and you'll have a assistant if you want an assistant. And let me see if I can add this here. Hang on a minute. Add my picture here. See if I can bring me in. No, it doesn't like it. Okay. So I tell it, you are a meal planning assistant that generates a structured 30-day diet. So this is coming from, I'm pulling it from the sheet. Meal plans in pure JSON format. JSON format, again, is just how these computers talk. You're putting it in a structured mode so that it could understand. Rules. So you want, here's what you're doing. Here's how you're going to do it. The meal plan must follow the specified diet type. Each day's meal plan must include breakfast, lunch, and dinner for adults, strictly follows a diet, kid-friendly alternative for each meal, if kid-friendly equals true. I'm going to add in here. Utilize traditional kid-friendly alternatives. Okay. Actually spell things right. Have some good grammar. Okay. Each meal, both adult and kid friendly, must include an entree and a side. And you could tweak this. All right, but this is just what I did. I would give me an idea. Side and entree. Okay, here's more rules. Output must be clean JSON. Do not include text outside of the JSON. Meals should be varied and include different proteins: chicken, beef, fish, vegetarian. I could put pork in there. I'm not a big pork guy. Neither are my kids. If kid-friendly, go true. Use kid-friendly meal options provided in. There you go. Here's the kid-friendly options. It's right here. C, that's what I'm saying. To generate suitable kid-friendly meals. Options provided as ideas in to generate. Okay. If no matching option is found, create a default kid-friendly meal based on typical child preferences. If a side is not provided, automatically add a complementary side, i.e. fruit, vegetable, soup. Each meal must be balanced and realistic, considering preparation time and common ingredients. Now, here's what JSON looks like. This is a sample JSON. Looks kind of crazy. ChatGPT spit that out for me. I didn't even have to worry about it. I just said, give me, create this and give me a sample JSON format, right? So I did that. What this does, all this gobbledygook, is it will create it in a format that this module here, this parse JSON, if you look, I'm saying give me the result from my ChatGPT. It will spit it out in a format that I can basically just select. So if you look here, I'm saying add a sheet. So what I want to do, if you look here, I'm going to delete April. I'm saying add a sheet to this spreadsheet, worksheet, and name it next month. So whatever the following month is from now, because we're planning a month ahead. Okay. From there, I say update a row. Go ahead and once that sheet's created, I want these headers on that sheet. So I say, give me the sheet here that we named previously. So it'll be April. Row number 1, I want day, meal type, meal name, ingredients, prep time, meal type, and then some kit options. Okay. Then I'm going to iterate that because this is going to spit out as these things come through. It's going to go boom, and it's going to have all those options, day 1, day 2, and each one of day 1, day 2 is going to have breakfast, lunch, dinner, all that. I'm going to say for those, go ahead and iterate that and add a row to our sheet. Okay. And then we're going to delete this one here. We're just going to take that off because that's part of that advanced deal. We're going to add a row and iterate between them. And I want you to add all that information that we just did there. All right, so let's see what that did. On our sheet here, under our criteria, we're doing a My Plate. Okay, and we have our options. And we're going to want some kid-friendly options here. So let's go over to Make, and we're just going to click save this, and we're going to run it once. Now it's going to take, failed. What did it fail with? All right, well, let's just delete you. I don't need you in my module anyway, mister. What don't you like? It doesn't like that. What I was doing is I was naming it April and then the diet, and I was incrementing it by 1 so we could run multiples, but that's fine. Because this was such a pain in my butt. Earlier, I was testing this, and every time I'd test it, I would forget to go back and delete April. And it would run and be like, fail. And you'll see in a minute, it does take a moment for this thing to process. And to go through all that time, I mean, it's really less than a minute. We're so spoiled nowadays where we have to have everything right now, right? I'm like, I got to spend another 35 seconds running this damn AI to come up with a 30-day meal plan because I forgot to delete a sheet. So anyway, third world or first world problems, right? All right, so we're going to run this thing. Let's see if it works this time. All right, so it's kicking off. It grabbed it already. It's going over to GPT. GPT's furiously typing away. It's like, okay, what is a my plate? We're going to figure out what a my plate is, and we're going to come up with a 30-day meal plan on that, and we're going to structure it out, give you a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and some kid options. So it's going through, and this does take a minute. I wish I could fast forward, but this is recording live, I guess. We don't have that. So while I'm doing that, I would love for you guys to comment below. If you've made it this far in the video, comment below and let me know what other day-to-day automations that you would like to see built. What could I build for you? I'd love to build a couple on here that that you could use in your life. All right, so we had an error come across. Hang on a minute. So it flew through, but we did get an error here. It was unable to parse the range April A1. All right, so we'll figure that out. But let's take a look at the results. Let's see what it came through. So it pulled up. All right, so I said, give me my criteria. It says I want a my plate. It is true, true, whatever. This is what GPT came out with. So if you look at the result, it spit it out in JSON, which is what we want. And let's see, vegetable omelet with the side of whole wheat. Lunch would be grilled chicken salad and a side of whole grain. And dinner was for, let's see, dinner, baked salmon and a side of brown rice and steamed broccoli. That's a pretty good day right there. So let's figure out what in the heck happened here. All right, so it didn't like A1, which is, that's right. It's there. Invalid argument, unable to parse range, April A1. Values A1. It could have just been a kerfluffle. Does that sometimes. So let's take a look. It did create April my plate on our sheet. So let's click over here. It created the sheet and it created all our headers, but it didn't add anything on there. So let's delete that. And we're going to try again. And let's just see. Sometimes it's just an error. I want to switch it up from, well, let's see what my plate, because I'm kind of curious what other meals they do on that. So we're going to run it over there. While that's happening, I'm going to do a little live, let's see, organization. Let's see, why isn't this not working? Here we go. No? All right, here we go. Look at that. See, I got meme on here. Now we can kind of watch this thing together. Here we go. Now we're making moves. All right, so let me show you. Well, I'll show you a little bit. Oh, nope, it flew through, and we got the same error. All right, so then we're gonna figure this out. Let's see. Meal plan, April sheets. This does work because I just did it right before we got here. So I'm going to unlink this, and we're going to set one up again now. So let's add a row. Okay, so this is going to bulk or add a row to the bottom of the sheet. Okay, and if you look, we're going to want to add all those there. So we're going to connect, and we're going to connect to meal plan. There you go, this one. And the sheet name we actually want that to be, let's see, we want to enter it manually. Spreadsheet ID, we want that to be what we created at the very beginning, what we pulled. Okay. Sheet name, this is going to be the one that we're creating here in the Add a Sheet. So we want to come in and select the sheet name, which is April My Plate. Column range, we're going to say A to Z. Now, why did it not ask me if you had headers? It should have. Okay, so our sheet has day, meal type, meal name. Does this one have headers? Ah, that's why. Because it does contain headers. So maybe we don't have to redo it. That was what the problem was. I'll tell you what the problem was right now while we're looking at it. This is why I love this, because it's so much fun to debug and find through. So if you look here, it says sheet name April. Sheet name April doesn't exist. If you look, you can't see it in the share. It says the sheet name is April My Plate, right? That was the change that I made. So what we need to do, let's just do that because that's what it's going to be called anyway. Contains headers, yes, it does. Okay, and there we go. Now we should be good. Save. Let's run this again, this bad boy. Run. So what's really cool about this make is, you know, you can have a ton of different scenarios. You could build out templates for the different things that you want. There's a data store within, so if you want to have a certain thing that you're just grabbing from, my son's going to be coming down here in about 30 seconds, so you get to say hi. It's you can grab from a quick data store. I like to use all my Airtable or what do you call it, Google Sheets. So instead of the data store, I've just not really found a real good use for it, but there is other things there. Webhooks, this is what really makes this thing is the webhooks and what you build. Oh, see, look what just happened. Damn it. It failed again because I didn't delete. Hey, Waylon, I'm on a podcast, so I'll look at that in a minute. Thank you. Love you. All right, so I ran it and I didn't delete my sheet. These are the things, so there are error handlings that you can build in. If you click on this, there's I already got one added. That's why. Delete module, add error handler. So there's different ways that you could handle that. I had an ignore on there and I thought it would continue moving, but it didn't work. Break is a really good one. So if you're running against a API and the API is down, you don't want it to just ruin everything. So what you could do is you could break, you could pause it, and it will retry multiple times until that, what do you call it? Until that is available. Or you can manually requeue it, which is another good thing. All right, one more time for the Gipper. Let's try one more time for the Gipper. How about that? So I want to show you, as that's running, I can pull up a couple of my other scenarios, just some crazy ones I got going on. So these are, I have different uses, different full automations that I've built out for different blogging, for socials, things like that. Some of them get super duper crazy. Like this one here is here's a quick view in on faceless video. So this is, you ever see those where there generates a video and there's a bunch of the captions that are on there and there's some moving art in the background. This is what that would look like. I mean, each one of these is a branch. It'll go down this branch. It'll first do these things, and it'll come down and do these things. And each time it's writing to a database, an Airtable database. And that's super complicated. Took me like 12 hours to set up and build out. But let's take a look. So our scenario did fully go through. And if we come over to our spreadsheet now, there is now a section. Oh, see, now it didn't do it right. I think it's the My Plate. It hates the My Plate. Let's see what's going on here. So, format, wrapping, wrap. It did give us some options. I don't know why it didn't do all 30. We'll have to look at that. So it gave you whole grain toast, scrambled eggs, side of fresh fruit, oatmeal wrap, turkey avocado sandwich. This sounds like a really not great diet for my tastes. So let's see what it does for home cooking. Let's see if it understands home cooking. So the idea for this is to and it's not, we're not going to like hang on a minute. Let me fix this because this is just going to make it a nightmare to run this through a few times. The key is what you're going to do is you're going to create this meal plan. And then what I want to do is add a option on the back. We're getting a little late in the deal here, but I'll run through. That will then take that list that it generated and break it into a shopping list right here. And it will break it down from dairy, vegetables, meats, and pantry. You print that out and you take it with you when you go shopping, and it gives you a good list to work from. So we're going to try this one more time and see if we can't get this damn thing to work. All right, so let's take this off and name it what the month is. Properties. I probably got like maybe one person still watching. I've lost all of you. Gone. All right. Let's see, I just don't understand. Oh, well, fuck it. Here we go. We got that. Same thing here. Don't know how it's going to work with the headers because it's not asking me. Normally it would ask me if I enter it in. Wonder if I can paste this. Meal plan. Here you go. Sheet name. No, it's not going to let me. I don't know what that means. Sheet director configuration. That's weird. So we're going to have to enter it manually. Okay. I think that's going to error out. But let's run it. Let's see what it does. So some of the other things that you can do, scenario-wise, if you look at it, here's an option I built out for one of my websites. If I want to go out on Feedly, which is an RSS app, I want to go out on Feedly and find a article that I really like. I add it to a board. It's going to go through. It's going to pull 5 related articles that are based off of the keywords from the article that I sourced. And it's going to run through, and it will gather a feature image for me. It's going to rewrite that article, a whole new article, not even just the existing article. It's not taking that article and rewriting it in my words. It's actually creating a unique article based off of 6 different articles, the original source article and 5 related articles or videos. Takes that, creates a fully new SEO optimized article about that. About that, it creates a social image. It grabs some related images from Google and puts them in the article, publishes the article on my website, and then pushes it out to Facebook, which is pretty cool. Okay, so it did run, but it's only doing 12. I wonder why we screwed it up somewhere in our day 4. See that? Day 4? It's only giving me 4 days, and I think I know why. We switched the model, and the model might not be good for this. That's the only difference. Let me see. Completion tokens, yep. All right, so we're going to switch this bad boy back to 4.0 because it knew what the heck we were doing. It could understand. And that's why there's so many of these different models, because each one does have its own purpose. They're good at certain things. All right, so we got that. Save. Let's run it again. First, we got to delete April home cooking. Let's see what it first is. What did kick out for home cooking? Vegetable omelet, side of whole wheat bread, grilled chicken salad, baked salmon with roasted potatoes. I don't know if that's, I guess beef stir fry, avocado toast, tuna wrap salad. All right, let's delete you. Let's try one more menu. This will be the last time. Let's go keto, because that's what I am. Okay. All right, let's go back here. Save. Let's try one more time, and we're just going to watch it. We're going to watch it. Tick, tick, tack, tick. So, yeah, comment in the comments below what types of automation it can help you. Is it an email automation? What is a task that you do every day or every month that takes up your time? Don't just think geeky internet stuff. What are things that you do? Couponing. I do couponing. I love it. What are some things that you do in your normal everyday life that you could do faster with automation? Or and these things could be emailed to you. It could be saved in a spreadsheet. One of the things I thought of doing today was every morning I want you to check the weather for that day. And then I want you to text me or email me, probably text me the weather and suggest what type of outfit I should wear for that day, right? So, hey, it's going to be 25 degrees today. You know, you're just going to need a nice sweater or whatever. Hey, it's going to be sub-zero. Bundle up. Maybe have a, what do you call it? One of them dry fit or under layer. Layer up, because it's going to be cold. You're going to freeze your tuchus off. So, all right, GPT's about a quarter way through, and sometimes it just zips through once it gets going. Yes, we did delete that. Come by. A lot of times, what I do when I'm trying to think up the type of what do you call it? Automation I want to build, I'll go over to here to Miro, and I'll do a flow chart, or I'll create like a flow of what I, as I'm brainstorming. Sometimes it's good just to get in here and build, throw things at it. Other times it starts to get really complex, like you saw that faceless video automator, or the different contents. There we go. Look at that. See the numbers spinning up? We got 30, 39, 40, 44. I feel like I'm on Gold Rush counting the gold. 50, 55 should end up around 60. No, it's going to go 90, I think, because it's 3 options. 90. Boom. Okay, so let's go over to our meal plan. Keto. Here we go. What did it give us? Keto scrambled eggs with avocado, side of berries. Love it. Grilled chicken Caesar salad, side of garlic bread, baked salmon, asparagus. Okay. Greek yogurt, honey, walnuts, zucchini noodles, stuffed bell peppers. This is good. This is good stuff, man. lemon herb grilled chicken, a side of broccoli. All right, so what kind of kit options did it come up with? Let's take a look. Pancake syrup, side of banana slices, grilled cheese sandwich, mac and cheese, side of string broccoli. It's good. It's not very waffles, syrup, side of blueberries, pizza size grilled cheese. So it's kind of sticking to that list that I put in there. If I didn't have that list, what it would do is it does come up with good kit options, but I found it tends towards what you're already eating. Now, a lot of parents, that's what you get. What I made is what you get. With my kids, I've given up on life. And I won't fight that fight anymore. I just won't do it. So I as long as it's easy, I can make something in parallel to what I'm doing. If they don't like the options I'm doing, I'll give them one option. So you either have that option or you don't eat. You either eat what I make or you don't eat. Okay, so real quick, while we do this, let's come up with, what are we at here? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I'll just record. We're at 41 minutes. All right, so we're going to create a new completion at the back end of this. All right, and we're going to say, we're going to go with the 4.0 Mini because that is my favorite. Does the trick. Let it load. We're slow today. System. We're just going to go really simple with this. You are a helpful, intelligent assistant. Writing assistant. Just assistant. Okay? And I spelled helpful wrong because I'm typing weird. Okay? You are to create a shopping list based off of the food you are given on our meal plan. Now, the one thing I didn't say, and I should add it to criteria, is how many people. Okay? So I'm going to add that real quick to our criteria. We're going to say quantity of people. Okay. So what we're going to, based off of the food you're given on our meal plan, consider portions based on the amount of people. Let's do this. Man, my microphone is right in the way. I just got it delivered today, a new boom for this. So next time you see me, I'll have a nice boom on here. All right, so we're going to go down to our spreadsheet, and we just added a new row in D. So here, okay, and we're going to say like that, and split it into the following, split the list into the following what do you call it? Categories. Now, on our shopping list, we have dairy, vegetables, meats. So one thing we need to do is we're going to add a quantity to each one of these. Okay. So 1 milk, whatever. Also consider that ingredients can be used in multiple meals. Estimate the total needed for the month meal plan. Use categories laid out below. Output. All right, so now we're going to tell it output. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to save that. We're going to go back to our other one because it had some good instruction. It worked out really well. Okay, and output must be clean. Do not include JSON outside JSON. There we go. Okay. And that's another really good practice while you're doing this is to, I've learned actually to create a spreadsheet with my prompts and then call in my prompts from that specific spreadsheet. It just makes things a lot easier to update overall, especially if you're using this in multiple areas. This would, what I'm about to paste in here, I would have as a separate user entry and just include it as a rule set. All right. Output clean JSON, whatever. All right. So here we're going to add another message. We're going to call it user. First thing we're going to do is we're going to give it the full meal plan. So we're just going to give it that. And then we're going to give it output categories. Okay, we're going to say, what was our categories? Let's pull them up. We have dairy, vegetables, meats, and pantry. I'm sure I'm missing some there, but I thought that was an easy. Dairy, vegetables, meats, and pantry. Okay. And did we say, let's see, consider portions, let's see, how helpful you are to create a shopping list based off the food you're given on the meal plan. Consider portions on the amount of people, portions, quantity. Oh, for God's sake. There we go. The lights on my keyboard are not, they're set up to game, so only half of my keyboard is lit. I can't see the other side. You're your worst own worst enemy with this stuff 90% of the time. All right, so now what I'm gonna actually grab that prompt and I'm gonna go over to my desktop GPT and I'm gonna say clean up this prompt, this system prompt, and add example JSON to it. Okay, and I gotta give it the categories too so it knows. All right, let's see what it comes out with. I know you can't see this right now, but I'll pull it in a second. All right, so it says you are a highly intelligent, efficient assistant. Your task is to generate monthly shopping lists based on the provided meal plan. You must calculate ingredient quantities based on the total number of people consuming the meals. Guidelines: aggregate the ingredients using multiple meals and estimate total needed for the month. Categorize the items in the following sections: dairy, vegetables, meat, and pantry. Ensure accurate positioning based on portioning based on number of people provided. Output clean JSON, no markdown, explanations, formatting issues. Do not include text outside the JSON. So that is much cleaner. But you see I did the bones here, right? And now if I put that in, I just want to come in here and re-link my here, right? Because that is actually like so see how it says 5.3? That is the JSON index for that element that we're putting here, this D. Okay. All right. And then we got the example JSON here. So we're going to put that at the bottom. Example. Okay. Save. Now, let's run this one more time. Let's delete the keto. Delete. Here. And we're going to run this one more time. What are the chances this works on the first try? What do you think? This is it. This is my day. This is what I do. And it's just like being in a lab. I come in here and I try this stuff out, and one of them's going to stick. I'm going to take this, I'm going to package this up. I can now take this, as long as I can figure out how to output this onto a web browser. I'll take that criteria and I'll make it one of the pages, and this will be a new SaaS product. Simplify your shopping. Shopify. Simplify your shopping. And, who knows what it is. Maybe it's you buy credits, $10 a month, $5 a month, whatever it is, something super simple. You can, and I could build on a couple different features onto this, but this will output into a browser, and you run a few ads on this thing, and people will sign up. Especially if I can perfect the output. Hey, text me. Do you want the results of your shopping list texted to you? Do you want it saved to a Google Keep? This is where product testing comes in. If you guys put down in the comments how I can make this better and make it usable to everyday people, that's something I can do, right? Because this is a valuable thing. I'm going to use this. I do this, but I've done it in individual ChatGPT windows just on the desktop. I'll be like, okay, it's March. Here's my criteria. Spit it out. When in reality, I don't even need to do that. The next step to this, if you look at this one here, it says watch changes. This one, that one there. On the criteria, I'll have a box here, and it will say generate meal plan. And I'll check that box, and it will automatically trigger this. You'll never see this. You'll never have to come in here. It'll just pick it up. It'll generate that. All of a sudden, boom, just like it just did. And watch this get filled out. Watch, it's gonna start to happen. Okay, as this thing is running. Oh, look at it. Only spit out one. That's very interesting. I wonder why it did that. One day. It gave me 1 day. Day 2. So my iterator failed. So that did give me all. Oh no, I see what it's doing. That's where it's not good. So with an iterator, it's going to run through every single time. Okay. If you notice, we're on day 3 here, and it's on day 3 here. So it is generating an output. It's saying, okay, here is what your shopping list for that day is going to be. Shopping list. We're going to need eggs, 84 eggs, 15 gallons of milk, 8 tubs of yogurt, 6 pounds of cheddar cheese, 1 pound of feta cheese, 2 pounds of cream cheese. This is for the month, right? But it's running that many times. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to stop this. We're going to stop this right now. You stop it right now. Okay? We're going to unlink that. And what we want to do is we want to create a router. Okay? So it doesn't iterate every time it runs. We got to add a router. And we're going to put that, where can we put that? Let's put it. Okay. Because we don't really need that output here. We're just going to run it like this. There we go. So now what it's going to do is it's going to come down this list. It's going to say, all right, give me your shopping list, or give me your meal plan, boom, boom, boom. And it's going to go, okay, we're going over here. We're going to go to iterator, and we're going to make our list, which we did quantity, but we didn't people. So I'm going to say this is for 5 people. That's why that was all screwed up. It just guessed it. Delete. Come back over here. Save. Now, once it runs through this, once it's done doing that, it will come back down. Now it's going to run over here, and it's going to provide that list. Okay? Now, what it did give me, though, add a row here, it gave me some data from the GPT. So we're going to go meal plan, and we're going to go shopping list, and we're going to say quantity 1. Oh, dang it. Save. I'm going to come into here. I'm going to tell it to produce JSON. We're going to go, we're just going to delete that, go max. So these are completion tokens. If I left that at like 100, it would only produce 100 characters, or however many characters are per token. All right, so we're going to come down here. We told it to do all that, but we did not say, hey, GPT, I want that in JSON, please. Thank you. And yes, you can go ahead and parse that for me. So we don't have to actually use the JSON parse module. And then that will give me the structure I need to assign it to my Google Sheets, and we'll be done. See if we can't get this done in the next 4 minutes and make this a 1-hour podcast. Let's run it. Let's see what we got. We got to wait one more time. So, you know, I know AI is scary to a lot of people. I've had heated arguments about it. Like, you know, it doesn't belong, especially in the publishing world or things like that. But I feel like we're just finding our water level. We're just figuring out what is going to work, what's not going to work. And I have learned the hard way. Full automation, even if you have human editors, it's just not the way to go. Producing articles. You can produce SEO-based long-form evergreen articles, and then have a human editor review them and add that. They do work, okay? But the better usage of it is to give these human writers that have better brains than these computers. They really do. I mean, it comes down to creativity. Eventually we'll get there, I'm sure, but give them a structure. Produce an outline. Give them all the tools they need to produce the best product that they possibly can. And then use the tools to superpower them. This really is, it gives you a superpower over, what you're trying to do. Kind of like here. Like, I can make a meal plan. I know how to make a meal plan. I've been doing it my whole life. But, hey, I can generate this one. I don't necessarily have to follow it to the T. I might take bits and pieces or swap some pieces. I know Friday night, it's Friday today. My kids really like having pizza. It's pizza night. So when I write out my calendar, I'm just going to ignore the kid option. I'm going to put pizza. A lot of people think, hey, ChatGPT is so stupid. It doesn't really come up with good. Well, you're using it as a tool, right? Like, do you yell at your car if it doesn't get good gas mileage? Maybe change the oil, right? Like, there's things you have to do to leverage the tool to the maximum of its potential. And it's the same thing here. I can go through these automations. I can produce this output, but it needs to be curated. It needs to be cleaned. So once I have this spreadsheet, before I print it out and put it up on my fridge for my family to see, I'm going to look at it and be like, okay, Sundays, I like to make a roast or some form of a home-style meal. If that thing doesn't line up, well, I'm just going to put a roast there, some veggies, whatever. Fridays is pizza night. I know that. Tuesdays, we like to do tacos. Now, I could put all those rules into GPT, but that's not what everybody does. So I'm going to create my meal plan. I'm going to save 90% of the thought process so I don't have to worry about it, stress about it, whatever I got going on. Take that meal plan, curate it, clean it up, and now I've got a shopping list, right? Now, the shopping list, yeah, it is for all of it, but use your brain. It's getting you 90% of the way there. Hey, here's a guesstimate. Does that make sense? 45 gallons of milk? No, I don't need 45 gallons of milk. Thanks, shopping list. Hopefully here, now that I've actually put the criteria in, portions, 5 people, let's see what it comes out with. Let's see how it does. So here, it created my meal plan, 90 people, or 90 entries. So let's go back, take a look. Here we go. Format. I'm noticing it reuses a lot of wrap. There we go. Keto scrambled eggs with avocado side berries. Now, I've seen that a few different times, right? So as I fine-tune my prompt, maybe I'll clean that up a little bit. But, I mean, it's not bad. That's a damn good breakfast. Grilled chicken, let's see, baked salmon with asparagus, side of rice. Here's 30 options for dinner, breakfast, and lunch that you can use. Dinner, baked chicken with rosemary, side of roasted cauliflower. Awesome. It's a good dinner. Kids wouldn't eat it. Well, they might actually. They really like my baked chicken. They wouldn't eat the roasted cauliflower, so maybe I make them pasta and I don't know what pasta, cheese, and peas is, but that's the ingredients. I'm sorry, cheesy pasta and a side of peas. That's pretty good. Side of peas for whatever. All right, so let's see what it came out with for our shopping list. So shopping list: dairy, vegetables, meat, and pantry. Dairy and eggs, quantity 15 dozen. So I could take that and plug it in here, but my concern is going to be, I think what I could do is maybe iterate it. Copy, let's see. We'll just create a new one. Iterate here, and we are just over an hour. Should be done here shortly. So we're going to take this. We're going to take our shopping list, and we're going to iterate that. There's the tokens, by the way. Remember when I was in there and it said it was set to 2,056? This took 1,227 to create that shopping list. So if I had it set too low, that would fail, or it just wouldn't produce enough of an output. So if you delete it, it used to be at a 0. Now if you delete it, it gives max, but that's dangerous. So if you don't know what you're doing, you could use up all of your API usage. It's better to set a actual, what do you call it? Token. So 4,000 tokens, whatever it is. And you can see that right in your API dashboard on OpenAI. It'll tell you how much each one costs, so you can kind of figure that in when you're working on a budget. All right, so results, shopping list, and then we're going to iterate dairy. I need to run it one more time through there. I don't think I could just run this. I could. Run this module, dairy, quantity, name, milk, quantity 1. It really doesn't matter. I got to input each one of these so it has a name and so name, tomato, quantity 5, meat, chicken, quantity 5 pounds, pantry, rice, 1 pound. That will be another addition there. Okay, so now I got my bundles. So now I should be able to come over to my sheet. Quantity. Oh, it didn't do it. I hate it when it doesn't do that. So normally when you run a completion kind of like this, it's going to give you what it is. Okay, dairy, name. All right, so maybe we could let's try this. Quantity and name. Vegetables, quantity, and name. Let's see if this works. It might work. Meats, quantity, name, pantry, quantity, and name. Save. So then, oh, it's only going to do it once. I bet you. Bet you. All right, we're going to run it anyway. One last time. I know I said that 4 or 5 times now. One more time. Just one more time. While that's running, let's delete April. Delete. Okay. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. So one of the other options I'm going to have to add, similar to what I'm doing here, the shopping list will be a newly created spreadsheet instead of just adding on to this. Or you can delete and then it will add on. You know what I'm saying? Or it'll create like a whole, it'll just keep endless list of shopping list. It'll just add on to there. So I guess you could do that instead of creating a list. I like the cleanliness of generating a new list. Maybe for shopping it would be, all right, so when you're done, what we can do is we can insert like right here, done or bought, right? And let's insert a checkbox here. No. Checkbox here. And then we could add when this is checked, it'll remove it. And you could do that different ways. You could either create a script in here, or we could use automation. Be like, okay, so once this runs, check pull all of the check marks and delete them. And simple as that. Or run that once a week as a job. You create, hey, go into this, check for any check marks, and if there's a check mark, delete them. Okay, let's check and see how we're running. We're almost there. Almost there. Boy, I've been all this time and I haven't had my coffee's stone cold. Oh, God. There is nothing. I'll tell you, there's absolutely nothing worse in this world than. Now, it wasn't so bad there because mentally I knew it was going to be stone cold. But if you are sitting here working and you forget and you grab your coffee and you go up and you're like, oh, and it's cold. Oh my God. What is that? What is that? Why would you do that to me, world? I've thought about buying one of those special cups that keep it warm. But, all right, let's see if this works. If this don't work, I'm just going to call it a day. We'll pick it up next podcast and see if it, I'll clean it up a little bit, get it there. But we're almost there. And you know what? This is a hell of a thing. We built out, I did a little bit of work on the back end here, but this is a usable SaaS product. Okay, so let's see. All right, so it only looks like it only pulled one. So let's see why. Okay, so the choices or the results come out, shopping list, dairy. It did produce this, so maybe I'm looking at the wrong, or I have this formatted wrong. And then when we pull in our bundle, yep. So it should have done this, but when we're putting in our result, see this? They're only coming in from, so, and it's not giving us our information here. So what I'll have to do, kind of like what I did here, if you look, these are from the iterator. So why that iterator is not giving me the information I need, I don't know, but it does happen that way sometimes. So, but it did produce. All right, so we need 12 dozen eggs for the month. That's a lot of eggs. But I mean, that's like $400 right there. 8 pounds of spinach, 20 pounds of chicken breast, 2 bottles of olive oil. So obviously the shopping list is, we just quickly whipped it up. It's not ideal. It's not going to work. I'll mess with that a little bit, mess with some prompting to get a realistic shopping list out of that. But we did get a working meal plan. You could format this, super easy. Come up here and print. Let's see, let's make it printable. We're going to format, wrap. Wrap. That looks like crap. Wrap. Okay. Print it. Yeah, looks like crap. You got to format. Take the time. That's what I was saying. But for now, there's a useful use. It is still useful. Don't yell at me. It is still useful for AI and automation. So, like I said, in the comments, drop some ideas of things that you'd like to see optimized or not optimized, automated. Doesn't have to even use AI. I mean, it could be your Gmail, just, categorizing them or labeling them when they come in, things like that. I'm Jeff Bilbrey. This is Sippin Coffee with Jeff, and I appreciate you if you spent the time to watch this with me. We're learning together, and let's go tackle tomorrow. Have a good one.